Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith here with team coverage from our Storm Tracker team as we're looking at a developing weather situation with Sally intensifying through the course of the day today. Now a 90-mile-per-hour hurricane. And what we're looking at here is the enhanced satellite picture. And what this does is it senses cloud top temperature. And so the areas with the coldest cloud tops, which would mean the cloud tops that are tallest in the atmosphere, get colorized. And when you start to get into that purple coloration right through there, that is where we're seeing the deepest convection showers, some thunderstorms around the center of circulation here too. So this thing is starting to be wrapped around and shrouded within some of those cold cloud tops, and it's a sign that we are in an intensification phase, certainly with Sally. Here is the track from the National Hurricane Center. It is a wide cone, possible landfall anywhere from the Louisiana-Mississippi line to the Florida-Alabama line, with the middle point of that line being somewhere along the Mississippi coast or into Mobile County. You can see that we're expecting the low-level flow, which is out of the east. It's going to continue to send it in the direction of Louisiana coast in the short term. Meanwhile, it's going to be held up by a westerly flow aloft, and that's why it's in a little stalemate. That's why it's moving slow. Things are ever changing with Sally, and here's an update as we're getting the 10 o'clock numbers coming in here right now on Fox 10 News. This is still a Category 2 storm, and winds are still at 100, and the forward motion is west-northwest at 3 miles an hour. So it's just creeping along to the west-northwest. It's really being held up because it is a deeper system by the westerly flow pattern. And so that's going to have a bearing on the forward speed, especially as we get into tomorrow and also into the middle part of the week. And it'll have an outcome as far as the way it's going to work out with the forecast track. Pressure's dropped 2 millibars from 988 to 986. So it is still at least holding its own, if not getting stronger. We're seeing a real deep burst right near the center, so it looks like this storm is getting stronger. We're under a hurricane warning still. We haven't seen any changes to this yet all the way over to Santa Rosa County, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Okaloosa County included in the hurricane warning. Here is the forecast track, and this looks really bad for Mobile County and for Baldwin County. We're showing it right here, 7 o'clock tomorrow, that this system will begin to turn north and head towards Mobile County, Baldwin County, Jackson County, or Escambia County, Florida, the Mississippi coast. We've seen the track pull away from New Orleans. So the idea here is that the storm's going to turn north and then kick out to the northeast. A more eastward shift in the track is possible, but right now the current track has been adjusted to the east and is currently centered up right at us. We also have that updated track, and we want to go ahead and give it to you right off the top here on Fox 10 News at 4 o'clock, the latest from the National Hurricane Center and also what we're seeing from the Storm Tracker Center. This storm has undergone a rapid intensification today. It's been quite a day. We've seen a lot of changes here. The center reformed, which changed the outcome of where we think the storm will end up, and it looks like it's going to be ours to deal with based on the forecast. Right now, Sally, winds sustained at 100 miles per hour. That makes it a Category 2 hurricane. It's moving slowly, which is bad because it's just going to magnify the impacts as the center comes ashore. It'll prolong the period of time we've got to deal with the gusty winds and the rain and all this working to create potential power outages. And meteorologist Matt Barentine is measuring it generally about 50 to 55 miles offshore. We can actually get a little better position fix on that with the radar here. Matt will redraw it, and the center has hardly moved about right there, and we're about 53 miles from Fort Morgan with the center at a 2 mile per hour forward speed. It's going to have to speed up some to get this out of our hair, and unfortunately it is not. That we have official landfall in Gulf Shores. So the National Hurricane Center has announced that we do have a landfall of Sally as a Category 2 hurricane in Gulf Shores as of the 5 o'clock hour. The center has officially crossed the coast. So we are looking at the official landfall, and we've been waiting on this for a long time. I wish we had a faster forward speed to help us out to get some of this rainfall out of here. Tremendous rain going on, tremendous wind, and also storm surge as a result of this Category 2 storm. Michael is pulling it up here now, and we're looking at it landfall as a 105-mile-per-hour Category 2 storm in Gulf Shores. Winds out of the northeast at 3 as far as the forward movement of the storm. That's going to continue to take this thing to the north and east across Baldwin County and up into the Panhandle. Now, we do have official landfall, but it's not like we just flipped a light switch and this thing is over. It's not going anywhere. It is just a technical point in the tracking of this tropical system. Yeah, slow to recover after such a blow from an impressive slow-moving hurricane that actually ramped up in its intensity when it made landfall last night and early this morning. We were on the air with it as it made landfall this morning at 5 a.m. finally, and it's been working inland from there. We have a forward speed now. Instead of going to the northeast at 2, it's going northeast at 5. It's just a tropical storm now, too. It's hard to imagine that we're actually describing Sally as moving fast after it just inched along out over the Gulf and then near our coast and then creeping ashore last night and pelting us with relentless wind and rain and even some surge. Sally right now is a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm. It's moving northeast at 7 and the pressure is 990 millibars. Now the pressure is going in the right direction. It's rising, so the system is weakening. It's no longer, the center of circulation is no longer over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, so it's lost its source of energy.